The remembering had come to pass, a silent, profound shift in the very fabric of her being. Loyola Lynn awoke unto a new day, the dawn light filtering through her sanctuary's window, not as a mere illumination, but as a living, breathing entity. Her gaze drifted outward, captivated by a wonder to behold. Passion rain, shimmering with an otherworldly luminescence, fell from the sky, each droplet a tiny prism catching the nascent sun. The air hummed with an ethereal melody. The butterflies of heaven, their wings painted in the vibrant hues of forgotten dreams, sang the Lord's Prayer onto this sacred day. A change had coursed through her, deep within her bones, a subtle recalibration of her soul. Yet its true nature she knew not. The mystery pulsed, a soft, persistent thrum against the rhythm of her heart. Slowly, deliberately, she stepped out her door, her bare feet meeting the cool kiss of the morning mist. She moved with a newfound grace, her senses heightened, breathing in the very essence of the moment, caressing the tender petals of the flowers of heaven's heart. They yearned, opening their delicate forms to her touch, a silent communion of spirit and earth. Her path then led her away from the blossoming flora, towards the tranquil majesty of the grand lake of the emeralds, its surface a mirror to the heavens, anticipating her arrival. Upon reaching the lake's edge, Loyola Lynn lifted her eyes to the vast expanse above. The clouds, those masterful sculptors of mood, shifted and swirled, taking on shapes that hinted at forgotten narratives, celestial dramas playing out in the ethereal theater of the sky. Her gaze then descended, drawn by the delicate dance of ripples around a fallen leaf, a tiny vessel adrift on the emerald surface. It seemed to tell a story, a miniature epic unfolding within the gentle undulations of the water's movement. She found solace, a grounding connection, as she sat onto the ancient, moss-covered mound of truth, its cool earth a silent confidant. With a gentle grace, she waved her hand across the water, the ripples expanding, mirroring the unfolding mystery within her own soul. The winds of the angels, ancient and knowing, blew through her hair, a soft caress that whispered secrets directly to her spirit, stirring a dormant memory. A faint smile touched her lips, born from a thought, a fragmented image from a past long ago, just beyond the grasp of full recall. In quiet reverence, she watched as the doves of the night, their plumage a testament to the transitioning day, drank from the lake each morning, marking their passage from twilight's embrace into the bright expanse of dawn. Her eyes then turned towards the enigmatic forest of dreams, its ancient trees beckoning, for the voices of her heart, now stirring with an unfamiliar urgency, called from its depths. She knew not why, but the pull was undeniable. As she began to look deeply into the lake once more, its surface, as if alive, shimmered and parted, revealing not a single reflection, but a multitude. Mirrors of her past, her present, and her potential future swam into vivid focus, each image a shard of a shattered mosaic. Loyola Lynn's serene contemplation gave way to profound puzzlement, her mind reeling as she began to question the very nature of what she was witnessing. Just as the kaleidoscopic reflections threatened to overwhelm her, drawing her deeper, inescapably drawing her deeper into the labyrinth of her unfolding destiny, her attention was abruptly, unequivocally seized. The serenity shattered, not by an act of violence, but by a sudden, breathtaking spectacle. 4 magnificent riders, their forms encased in armor that sparkled with an almost celestial fire, burst forth from the vibrant edge of the Forest of Dreams. Their horses, powerful and elegant, moved with a synchronized grace that belied their speed. The colors of the rainbow, vibrant and intense, seemed to coalesce around them as they entered her sanctuary, a place usually reserved for the quiet reverence of nature. These were no ordinary travelers. Their very presence exuded an aura of disciplined power. They were the sworn guardians of this sacred ground, their arrival fraught with an unmistakable urgency. The lead guard, clad in armor of a deep, resplendent blue, spurred her mount forward. Her voice, clear and commanding, sliced through the morning mist, piercing the tranquil air with an unexpected demand. It carried the weight of impending revelation, a stark contrast to the gentle awakening Loyola Lynn had just experienced.
"Princess Iris," the blue-armored guard shouted, her voice resonating with an unshakable conviction. "I have urgent news."
Loyola Lynn, jolted from her profound introspection, felt a jolt of alarm. The sudden shift from the personal to the public, from the internal to the external, was disorienting. Her gaze, once lost in the emerald depths, now fixed on the approaching figures, particularly the one who bore such a significant title. What news could be so pressing as to invade this hallowed space with such fervent declaration? A tremor, not of fear, but of an unfamiliar anticipation, coursed through her. She rose slowly from the mound of truth, her posture straightening, an instinctual return to a dignity she hadn't realized she possessed. Princess Iris, dismounting with a fluidity born of countless hours in the saddle, advanced towards Loyola Lynn, her expression etched with a gravity that brooked no delay. The other 3 guards, a sentinel in emerald, one in golden yellow, and another in fiery crimson, remained mounted, their gazes sweeping the perimeter, silent sentinels whose very stillness conveyed an unspoken vigilance. Iris's eyes, the color of a winter sky, met Loyola Lynn's, mirroring a depth of concern that resonated with the nascent unease stirring within Loyola Lynn herself. The air, once soft with the passion rain, now felt charged, heavy with unspoken truths.
"Loyola Lynn," Iris began, her voice dropping to a serious, almost somber tone. "The ancient wards around the obsidian peaks have begun to flicker. We've received fragmented reports from the far outposts, whispers of a growing shadow, a malevolent force stirring in the desolate lands beyond the Veil of Silence. Our seers interpret this as the precursor to the great unraveling, the very prophecy that foretold your awakening."
Loyola Lynn felt a cold tendril of fear coil in her stomach. The great unraveling. The words resonated with a dreadful familiarity, though she couldn't recall ever hearing them before. It was as if a piece of her remembering had just clicked into place. She looked from Iris to the lake, then back to the princess, a dawning realization illuminating her features. Her connection to this sanctuary, her profound remembering, was not merely personal introspection, but a pivotal moment in a larger, ancient conflict. The guards' silent vigilance, their poised readiness, now made chilling sense. They were not merely protectors of a place, but guardians of a destined event, one that now clearly centered on her.
"A prophecy?" Loyola Lynn's voice, though steady, held a tremor of disbelief. "And it concerns me? I know nothing of this. My remembering is just fragments, a feeling. Tell me, Iris, what am I supposed to remember? What is this destiny you speak of, and why am I only just now, in this moment, learning of it?"
Iris stepped closer, her expression softening with an empathy that belied her warrior stance. The blue-armored guard laid a reassuring hand on Loyolin's arm, a gesture of quiet support. The air thrummed with the untold history between them, a history Loyolin was only beginning to uncover.
"Our oaths, Loyolin," Iris explained, her voice a low, resonant cadence, "are bound not just to this sanctuary, but to the very cycle of its renewal. We have guarded this place through countless ages, awaiting the signs. The remembering you feel, the profound shift within you, is the first bloom of your true self, the resurgence of Loyolin, the guardian of the Emerald Heart. The prophecy dictates that your full memories, your ancient powers, would only awaken at the precipice of the great unraveling, when the world most desperately needs you. We were forbidden to hasten it, to interfere, lest we break the delicate balance of destiny. We are merely the stewards, the silent watchers, until the time of your return was upon us. This urgent news is not just a warning, it is your call to action, the affirmation of your purpose. The sanctuary itself depends on your understanding, your acceptance of the truth that lies dormant within you."
The weight of Iris's words settled upon Loyolin, a mantle of responsibility, both daunting and strangely familiar. She looked at the lake, at the forest, then at the unwavering faces of the rainbow gods. This was no dream, no fleeting sensation. This was her truth, finally unveiled. With Iris's revelations echoing in her mind, Loyolin instinctively turned back to the Emerald Lake. Its surface, previously a passive mirror, now pulsed with an inner light, responding to the burgeoning awareness within her. The reflections, once puzzling and fragmented, began to coalesce, to weave themselves into a coherent tapestry of time. She saw not just images, but felt emotions, tasted dust and starlight, heard the echoes of ancient tongues. Visions of a glorious civilization built on crystalline structures and fueled by an unseen energy shimmered before her. Then, the vibrant hues dissolved into a terrifying tableau of devastation, a cataclysmic war fought with forces beyond mortal comprehension, a struggle against a creeping darkness that sought to devour all light. She witnessed the shattering of worlds, the sacrifice of heroes, and the desperate flight of survivors, among them herself, but a younger, more powerful iteration. The sensual aspect of the remembering was overwhelming. It was not merely seeing, but experiencing the raw grief, the fierce courage, the profound love for a world on the brink. She felt the warmth of a long-lost hand, the sting of betrayal, the crushing weight of leadership. Her own role in this ancient conflict became terrifyingly clear. She was not just a guardian, but a pivotal figure, a beacon of hope, destined to confront the encroaching shadow. Her senses were inundated, a flood of memories and premonitions washing over her, threatening to pull her under. Yet, amidst the chaos, a solid core of purpose began to solidify, an unyielding resolve hardening within her. The lake offered not just memories, but a burning imperative. The torrent of visions subsided, leaving Loyolin breathless, but profoundly changed. The puzzlement had dissolved, replaced by a fierce clarity. The fragments had become a mosaic, her destiny etched in brilliant, undeniable strokes. She turned from the lake, her gaze now meeting Iris's with a newfound resolve, a quiet strength that emanated from her very core. She was no longer simply Loyola, the woman awakening, but Loyola, the guardian reborn.
I understand, Loyola stated, her voice steady, imbued with a resonance that startled even herself. The great unraveling, it has begun, and I am its counterpoint. The Emerald Heart must not falter. Tell me, Princess Iris, what must be done? Where do we begin?
A flicker of relief, mingled with profound respect, passed through Iris's eyes. The other guards, sensing the shift, subtly straightened, their postures reflecting a shared, renewed purpose. The silence that had followed Iris's initial declaration was now filled with the hum of impending action.
The immediate priority is to reactivate the lesser wards, Iris explained, her tone shifting into a strategic cadence. The shadow is seeking to sever our connection to the ley lines, isolating the sanctuary. We must journey to the 3 ancient nexus points, the Whispering Falls, the Sunken Grove, and the Sky Spire. At each, a relic must be reconsecrated, an act only you, with the full power of the Emerald Heart, can perform. Our reconnaissance teams have already identified the primary incursion points. We move at dawn, Loyola. This is not merely a defense, it is a reclamation. Your quest begins with the first light.
Loyola nodded, a sense of immense purpose settling within her. The challenge was monumental, yet the call to action felt utterly right, a culmination of all that had brought her to this sacred dawn. As Loyola began to absorb the intricate details of Iris's strategic briefing, a subtle shift occurred in the atmosphere, a barely perceptible chill that seemed to seep into the very warmth of the morning. The vibrant hues of the passion rain dimmed momentarily, their effervescence muted, as if a distant shadow had momentarily passed over the sun. A low, mournful sigh seemed to ripple through the ancient trees of the Forest of Dreams, a sound unlike the gentle whispers of the angel winds she had heard moments before. It was a lament, perhaps, from the very spirit of the sanctuary, sensing the encroaching darkness. A cold dread, a premonition of battles yet to be fought, pricked at Loyolan's heightened senses. The beauty of the Emerald Lake, usually a source of profound peace, now felt fragile, its serene surface holding a silent tension. She looked towards the obsidian peaks, now feeling their distant, malevolent pull more acutely. This was not a far-off threat, but a creeping tendril, already touching the edges of her sanctuary, attempting to poison its sacred essence. The mature themes of destiny, sacrifice, and the relentless advance of evil resonated deeply within her. The remembering had not just given her knowledge, but also a profound, sensual awareness of the stakes. This was not just her battle, but the battle for the very soul of this realm, a sacred trust she now carried. The weight of it was immense, but so too was the power awakening within her. Before the first step of their perilous journey could be taken, Iris guided Loyola back to the ancient mound of truth, where the morning's profound revelations had begun. This was no mere hillock, but a nexus of energy, imbued with the echoes of countless blessings and oaths sworn upon its venerable earth. The other rainbow guards dismounted, their movements deliberate, ritualistic, forming a protective circle around Loyola and Iris. The Emerald Guard, his face grave, presented Loyola with a ceremonial dagger, its blade shimmering with an inner light, a relic of the true guardians. The Crimson Guard offered a chalice carved from ancient obsidian, filled with the pure, life-giving waters of the Emerald Lake. On this mound, Iris intoned, her voice low and solemn, your purpose is affirmed. With this blade, sever the ties to all doubt. With this water, cleanse the remnants of your forgotten past and embrace the power that flows within your bloodline. You are Loyola Lynn, the Emerald Heart, reborn into service. Let the essence of this sanctuary, its spirit and its strength, become one with yours. By the ancient oaths, by the light of the Sky Father and the embrace of the Earth Mother, we acknowledge you. May your path be true and your spirit unwavering.
Loyola Lynn, her senses alive to the profound energy emanating from the mound, performed the simple yet potent rituals. The cold steel of the blade, the cool touch of the water, each act solidified her resolve, forging her newly awakened self with the ancient destiny she now carried. She was no longer just remembering, she was becoming.
As the sun, now fully risen, cast long golden fingers across the emerald landscape, Loyola Lynn, clad in practical yet elegant attire provided by the sanctuary, stood ready. The 4 rainbow guards, mounted once more on their magnificent steeds, waited patiently. The mist, which had earlier enveloped the sanctuary in a dreamlike haze, now began to recede, revealing the path that stretched into the forest of dreams. This path, though familiar in its winding turns, now held a different resonance, a whisper of the unknown. Loyola Lynn took a deep breath, filling her lungs with the crisp, clean air, now tinged with a subtle, earthy scent of adventure. Her gaze lingered on the emerald lake for a final, poignant moment, a silent promise to return to protect this sacred haven that had nurtured her awakening. The remembering had infused her with a profound, sensual connection to the world around her. She could feel the pulse of the earth beneath her feet, the subtle vibrations of life in every leaf and stone, the distant hum of the ley lines that threaded through the land. With a purposeful stride, she stepped forward, the guards falling into formation around her, their presence a silent bulwark against the encroaching darkness. The forest canopy, once a comforting embrace, now felt like the threshold of a grand, perilous stage. This was the first step, not merely into the forest, but into her destiny, into a world demanding the full, unfurled power of the Emerald Heart. The journey had truly begun, echoing with the promise of trials, triumphs, and profound self-discovery. The whispering woods